What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's KB coming at you solo dolo, because that's effectively what this show is now. It's my own solo dolo Philly sports podcast, and having my friends and people hop along for the ride. It is episode number 646 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. We are going to talk some Phils. We're going to get you geared up for the Waterdogs homecoming weekend. And we are going to just enjoy ourselves on this episode and have some fun, talk some good talk, and happy to have whoever is watching and listening along for the ride. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI, Twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and on Instagram and Threads at KBIZZLE11. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple, Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping us continue to grow, helps us hit new milestones, and allows us to do more dope shit with and for you guys, and that's what we want to do with this podcast. So keep subscribing on audio platforms, and of course subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on the YouTube channel. We're at 807 subscribers. Let's get to 900 before the end of June. Let's go into a wild summer with the Fightin' Phils, with the Waterdogs, and a whole lot more. Chasing down 1,000 subscribers. I've been talking to Stevie Mack. We're planning on potentially doing an MLB trade deadline live stream to react to every move that goes down. Whether it's during or post-trade deadline, we're going to do something with that, which I'm very excited about. And of course, you have to look forward to Moonshot Mania, our MLB Home Run Derby watch-along that we do every single year. I think this will be the 4th year in a row that we will be doing Moonshot Mania, so a lot to look forward to, and it all happens on the YouTube channel. So keep subscribing, smash that like button, ring the bell icon, leave a comment down below, your thoughts on everything that we discuss on the episode. And of course, guys, this show is presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland municipal calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the city of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Fightin' Phils are in probably my least favorite city in America, and that is the city of Boston, for a number of reasons that I loathe Boston. I truly cannot stand them. It's disgusting that the Celtics are probably going to win the NBA Finals, but I genuinely don't care about basketball at this point because there are so many other things that I have prioritized that are bringing me joy than worrying about basketball and what was probably the most boring NBA season of all time, which I might talk about later on in the episode, with the NBA just being boring and not a fun product to watch right now. But the Fightin' Phils in Boston, as of this recording, they have split with the Boston Red Sox the first 2 games of the series. A very annoying game Wednesday night, as I'm recording this, as they lose 8-6, a game that they were up 2-0, they were up 4-0, they were up 4-1, and then in the 5th inning, they give up 5 runs, they give up another 2 in the 6th inning, and just weren't able to corral it back in. A very winnable game that went by the wayside. Christopher Sanchez just did not have it early on, only went 4 innings. Jose Ruiz was not great in his inning of work. Spencer Turnbull was not great in his 1 1/3 innings of work, had 4 walks. It was rough. It was a rough game there, but the Phillies do win the first game of the series with Zach Wheeler on the mound. And they win that one 4-1. Wheeler was great. Gave up just the 1 earned run, only 4 strikeouts. Matt Strahm, Jose Alvarado doing the rest in the 8th and the 9th inning. The boys came to play there. They did their thing. And Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs in his first game in Boston since playing for the Red Sox in 2021. And I still feel great about this team. This team has given me nothing to be concerned about outside of a couple of semantics things, whether it's, another bullpen arm or figuring out the outfield situation for the long haul. You have a bunch of platoon guys kind of in the lineup right now. Is that the way you want to finish the season? No, you want to go out and get a big guy to be in the outfield, whether it's Luis Robert Jr., Randy Arozarena, Kyle Tucker, who Jeff Passan mentioned, all 3 of them as potential fits for the Philadelphia Phillies. I'd be stunned if Kyle Tucker gets traded at all from the Astros. He is like a piece of their now and future, so I'd be stunned if the Astros pull the trigger on trading Kyle Tucker. Randy Arozarena has not been great this year, but maybe a change of scenery helps him kind of figure some things out and get him out of Tampa Bay. And Luis Robert Jr., his biggest concern is health and being healthy and staying in the lineup. But I think you get him out of Chicago, get him in a better environment. He's a better player to begin with there. I mean, it was always going to be a tough road trip for the Phillies, too, post Rhys Hoskins Brewers series. Going to London for 2 games, the travel involved with that, the time change with all of that. They weren't going to win all these games on the road. So, to see them get the first game of this Red Sox series was good. It's going to be a grueling, grind before the Phillies do get back to Citizens Bank Park to take on the Padres on June 17th through the 19th. So that is something to just keep in the back of your mind that, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. They're probably going to lose some games. Would it shock me if they lose a series or 2 here against the Red Sox, against the Orioles? Probably not. Would it suck? Absolutely. But it's one of those things that you're not going to win every game. You're not going to win every series. And what the Phillies have been able to do so far this season has been deterred from what the norm is with this team, and that's totally fine. I'd much rather them be successful and stacking wins and keeping an 8 to 9 game lead in the division all year long and adding high caliber, high octane pieces at the trade deadline to make this team that much better for the stretch run and into the playoffs and hopefully eventually hoisting that World Series trophy. But it was always going to be tough. The schedule makers did not do them any favors with the post-London schedule of a 6-game road trip in Boston and Baltimore. Sure, it's on the East Coast. Sure, it's, not that far from Philly, but that's grueling to travel across the pond, be away from Philadelphia for 5 days in that capacity, then be away for another 6 days. The Phillies have not been home for what will be 2 weeks. Before they get back to Citizens Bank Park to start that Padres series. So I feel for them. I know it's going to be grueling. It's going to spark a lot of people questioning so many things, but just relax. It's going to be all right. Trey Turner's return is imminent, which is very, very nice, and it'll be fun to have Trey Turner back in this lineup because this Phillies team, as well as Edmundo Sosa, has played, and we love Edmundo Sosa here. We are a pro Edmundo Sosa podcast. You're always going to want Trey Turner in the lineup over Edmundo Sosa. Like, that's just a no-brainer. But it was great to see how Edmundo Sosa has helped carry this team in the absence of one of your best all-star caliber players, one of your best, all-world type of players being out for over a month now. So we'll see how that shakes out when Trey eventually comes back. Hopefully it's soon. Hopefully, we get Brandon Marsh back soon, which will be nice. And it is it's just kind of one of those play each game, see how it shakes out here in June, where you have Boston, Baltimore, San Diego, Arizona, Detroit, and the Marlins. There's a lot to get through, but there's a lot of winnable games the rest of this month that you can take advantage of and really, assert your dominance that much more in the division than what you already have. And then we're in a crunch time of the trade deadline, and the rumors start swirling. The potential trade packages start, matriculating and coming to fruition, and seeing what it's going to take to get some of these guys. It's going to be interesting to see which team pulls the trigger first for the trade deadline to kind of set the market almost, because it is going to be a seller's market this trade deadline for sure, with so many teams, especially in the National League, that are still somehow in the mix, even though they're below 500. They're still in that wild card hunt, so it's going to be a seller's market, and it's going to be interesting to kind of see who will be a seller at this trade deadline. But before I keep it pushing with the Phils, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. They are the best in the game, the official merch provider of Underground Sports Philadelphia. If you want to stand out in the crowd, rep the Phillies, the Eagles, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Union, or Underground Sports Philadelphia, get your Underground Sports Philadelphia merch. Go to phiapparel.co. PHI Apparel Company is the place to do it. They are the exclusive merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, get your cart filled to the brim, and when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. It is the most effective and direct way to support me and everybody at Underground Sports Philadelphia, and allows us to do more awesome stuff with and for you guys. So go to phiapparel.co, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your merch order. The Phils are going to be okay, though. I'm not worried. I'm very okay. Losses are going to happen, but they're still going to win more games as we continue to go on. It'll be fine. I'm not panicking whatsoever. So just take a deep breath, relax. There's no need to overreact. But from the Phils, I do want to touch on some Underground Sports Philadelphia stuff, because since the last time we talked, we had a live event happen. And I love talking about our live events, whether it's a podcast, a watch party, going out and hanging out in the public with you guys. It's always a blast. And our F1 Underground crew, Casey and Owen, had their very first live watch party. Yawning is ridiculous. Casey and Owen had their first live watch party for the Canadian Grand Prix on Sunday, June 9th, and it was at Human Robot Brewery in Philly, their Schuylkill Banks location on Walnut Street. Awesome venue, first of all. Shout out to Human Robot. Their location there at the Schuylkill Banks location at 2401 Walnut Street is badass. Loved it. There was easily 50 people, including myself and CFO Margie, at the watch party, whether they were friends, family of Casey and Owen, or invited via our social media promotion, or were just there and decided to kind of flock to the watch party crew. It was awesome. It was a wildly successful event and kind of gave us the wherewithal to know that like that show is capable of doing a watch party for any F1 race. You know, it showed us, I think, a lot more for what we're capable of as a company, and for one of our premier podcasts on the network. Like, F1 Underground has in just over a year's time become an S tier pillar podcast for us, and pillar piece of content creation that we have here at Underground Sports Philadelphia, with this show, with Outside the Box, and now with F1 Underground. Those are kind of like our S tier shows. Those shows do numbers consistently. They have a fan base across the board. They push merch, and they do insanely well on a bunch of social media platforms to really promote the brands and cultivate that fan base and that following that you want to see from a podcast, from a digital media company aspect. And that's not to downplay streamer season getting the whole or Top Bins. And I know Top Bins has been on a hiatus for about 4 months now, but there's been a lot of iterations of getting the whole. There's been a lot of iterations of streamer season. Those are 2 pandemic baby podcasts that are still figuring out the footing and figuring out how to do things to make it so it gets to those levels. But the watch party at Human Robot was awesome. After the race and after everybody kind of flushed out, we were already looking at the schedule to do another watch party, so don't be surprised if another one gets announced pretty soon. We were looking at schedules and seeing what worked out best, but shout out to KCNO, and they have a monster juggernaut show that we are beyond happy is on our network, and beyond happy that they call Underground Sports Philadelphia home. Those 2 are rock stars, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Like, I'm not even like the biggest F1 fan from a knowledge standpoint, from understanding what is going on, but it's cool watching people enjoy something that means a lot to them, enjoy a niche sport, and seeing reactions, and you kind of know, like, oh, that's good, that's bad, that's in between. And it's been awesome watching those 2 kind of build this thing up to where it is right now, and it's only going to get bigger and better. So if you're not following F1 Underground on the socials, you're missing out on elite tier content. If you're an F1 fan, if you're a motorsports fan, because they talk IndyCar, they're talking Le Mans when that rolls around pretty soon. They're going to be talking a whole bunch of stuff, and we've even talked about like overall just like renaming the show so it's all encapsulating of motorsports, and it's really cool. And I'm excited for the next one, and it just shows that we're capable of doing live events. You know, whether it's a watch party, a live podcast, or in between. It was just another example of like what we're capable of doing as an independent, self-funded, curating our own sponsors. We don't have a business department. It's me and CFO Margie kind of running the business aspect of things for us, and we're building this thing from the ground up, like, and to see that within a month's time we're going to have back-to-back weekends of live events, potentially more in the month of July, and we're not stopping anytime soon. That's the fun part. We are not stopping anytime soon. I am full of just like great energy when it comes to content creation right now. And it's really awesome watching our brands and our franchises succeed with something that they create on their own. And KCNO are a prime example of that, and couldn't be happier to have F1 Underground as our exclusive and premier motorsports podcast. on the network. So if you are going to get into F1, if you are already into F1 and you want a show to listen to and watch and follow along with that's local in the Philadelphia area, to American Philly born and bred siblings talking F1 Underground, wherever you get your podcasts. And stay tuned because, like I said, we're going to be planning more live watch parties, potential live podcasts with them alongside Human Robot, which has been nothing but awesome to us. So big ups to them. And I'm very excited for whenever the next one rolls around. But I also want to talk about another live event that could be potentially happening, but I know I'll be on location for it. The event is happening. Whether or not we're doing live content at said event yet is a work in progress. But the man, the myth, the legend, the boy, OG Underground athlete, Jamil Demby, his football camp is back in the city of Vineland. I want to pull up all the details here for everyone so that we have them correct. But Jamil's football camp is back Friday, June 28th in Vineland, New Jersey, at Benny Coker Field, 3rd and Chestnut in Vineland. It's a free football and cheer skills camp going down. Looking here, 4:30 to 5:30 is check-in, and the camp promptly starts at 5:30 p.m. from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. So we'll be there. We're working on some stuff with Jamil when he gets into Vineland to do some live content. He's probably going to be on the show within the next couple of weeks when he's in town. So looking forward to that for sure. But we will be at the camp. That's Friday, June 28th, and can't be more excited to be relinking up with the boy. So if you have somebody that is in the age range of age 5 to 14 that you want to get free instruction, football, cheerleading from one of the best in Vineland, New Jersey, click the link in the description so you can register. Spots are filling up quickly, and you don't want to miss out on an awesome event from an awesome human. So shout out to Jamil. But Waterdogs homecoming weekend is upcoming this coming weekend, Father's Day weekend. It's going to be a doozy of a time. We're doing a live podcast with OTB from the Premier Zone at Villanova University, and the Waterdogs are looking for win number 1 coming off a bye, and we will see if they can get that done. Michael Sowers going to be playing, Matt Rambo going to be playing, Grant Ament going to be playing, and a whole bunch of other Philly boys going to be playing this weekend. Highly recommend coming out. If you have not been to a PLL event, you have not experienced live sports the way that they should be. PLL weekends are some of the most fun events that I get to attend week in and week out. And I have the privilege of attending as media, so I get another enhanced experience from that point of view. But if you've never been to a PLL weekend, you're missing out, and PLL Philly is going to be an absolute rock star of a time. So very much looking forward to that. Get on board with this Waterdogs team, guys. Even if things go astray this weekend, this team is way too talented, way too good, and way too experienced to not take advantage of being an underdog, being scrappy, and figuring things out if things do go awry. I trust this team a lot. I think they're extremely talented. Michael Sowers, Kieran McCardle, the list goes on. But those two in particular are like your dynamic duo. You have Ethan Walker in the fold offensively. You have an elite defense. You have one of the best goalies on the planet. This team is fun, and if you want to learn more about them, listen outside the box. We're going to be talking about them all summer long. We're working on getting their beat writer, Wyatt Miller, on the show, and we should be working to get head coach GM Bill Tierney on the show, which will be a lot of fun, working with the PLL to kind of get some of the Waterdogs players on this show in particular. to kind of get that Philly introduction for them and kind of introduce you guys to the Waterdogs and the PLL as a whole. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And first game for the Waterdogs is on ABC on Saturday, and the rest of the game, their other game on Sundays on ESPN Plus, and another game on the first game on Sundays on ABC as well. So lots of lacrosse on a flagship station on cable TV that you don't want to miss out on. That's all I got for you guys on this episode. A little bit of a short one. I had a haircut tonight. I'm exhausted, and schedule's kind of wonky, but we're figuring it out. We will be back on the next episode, recapping this Red Sox series as a whole, talking about what goes down in this Orioles series, talking about what goes down with the Waterdogs, maybe talk a little Philadelphia Union as well. It's been kind of a weird season for them. If you want more Union talk, let me know in the YouTube comment section, because I want to get somebody on to kind of catch me up to speed and really fill me in on what's going on with the team this year, because it feels a lot different than years past. And normally the Union are a team that everyone's talking about, and it kind of feels like all quiet on the Western Front, or should I say on the Eastern Front, with the Union. So we'll figure some things out with the Union and see what's going on with them. But make sure you guys are following us at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Twitch. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the motherfucking pod on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. You guys have no idea what it means when you guys subscribe, so keep subscribing. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content is all on our YouTube channel. Let's get to 900 subscribers. Keep subscribing, smash the like button, ring the bell icon, leave a comment down below if you want more Union talk, and of course anything else that you guys want to hear discussed, potential guests you want to see on the show. Let me know in the YouTube comment section who you'd like to see on the show. We will try our best to book them for sure. Get your merch from our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. That's phiapparel.co. Code Underground, 10% off your merch order. And this show is presented by the City of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's Economic Development Department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Guys, this has been episode number 646, a little bit of a condensed, shorter episode. We'll be back with a feature-length film of an episode to talk a whole lot of stuff. Fighting Phils, Waterdogs, Union, who knows, maybe some Birds talk, NBA, who knows. Whatever comes to mind, we'll talk it. I'm your boy KB. Appreciate you guys for always listening, supporting, during this weird time of the podcast where it's just been myself. But until the next one, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I am signing off. Peace.